All right, welcome to day number 2, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you how you can rebuild your marriage and turn it around from tears to joy. There are 3 things that really make many marriages break down. The first one and the biggest one is that every Christian marriage, every person who is a Christian, the enemy is always attacking you. Whether you're married or not, it is the goal of the enemy to make sure that you never end your life on God's side. So he wants to attack every area of your life so that you can give up. And if you don't give up, then you will not be fruitful. That's his goal. So he's going to attack you, attack your mind, attack your wife, attack your children, and going to make things as difficult as possible. Now, once you understand that, then you realize that he's going to use all your weaknesses against you. And the main weakness that everyone has, which is going to lead me to the second point why many marriages struggle, is that many marriages do not have the right foundation. The foundation on which marriage is built mostly is very selfish and self-centered, and no marriage can really work in a selfish and self-centered space or be built on a selfish and self-centered foundation. So you got to change the foundation of your marriage. And the last one is most people do not have a strategy for building their marriage. So listen to me, and please listen attentively, take as much notes as you can, and follow the steps that I'm going to share with you, because it will change your life. These things are extremely simple, but they are not easy to do because they are paradigm shifts. It's completely opposite to the way you have been growing, but it is God's way. So if you follow the simple steps that God has prepared for us, you will experience the transformation. But if you look at these things and assume that they are so simple, you'll lose out. So please do not discard these things because they seem very simple. So let's get back to what is the foundation. What do we need to have as a foundation of marriage? So let's look at scriptures to confirm that, and then we'll move on to some other things. I'll wrap it up for you, but just don't be in a hurry to stop this. Take a minute to watch what I'm going to share with you. It's going to solidify this truth in your heart. Galatians chapter 5, verse 13. This is not a marriage scripture. This is a scripture for believers in general, but because you and your wife are believers, take this as the foundation on which you can now build a connection. So Galatians chapter 5 verse 13, it says, "For you, brethren, have been called to freedom, liberty. Only do not use liberty as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another." This is a major difference in the way a lot of people do marriage. The goal of marriage is for you to serve. So you offer what you have. You offer your love, you offer your kindness, you offer your patience, you offer your finances, you offer your goals and visions, you don't demand them. Then you wait for your spouse to offer whatever they have. You don't demand them. And when you do that, you may discover that they don't want to offer anything. They are very selfish. Yes? Then you inspire them by continually offering and trusting that the Lord would use the seeds that you're sowing to bring them. A lot of marriages have been broken because people do not trust in the power of God to change the other. They do not trust in the power of love to transform the other. But they claim that we all claim, I think I'm part of that, we claim that we understand that God's love came down to change us, transform us from sinners to saints, deliver us from the kingdom of darkness, and brought us into the marvelous light of God. And we then limit the power of that love. We limit the power of that love when it comes to marriage. In Romans chapter 5, it talks about God's love, verse 5, being poured into our hearts. That love, when it's released in marriage, also can transform the spouse. You just have to learn to tap into it and be patient with it. So you're going to work on three things. Number one, take responsibility for your joy completely. And how do you do that? First thing first, I'm here to offer my love. And of course, if I'm here to offer my love, then I have to have it. I have to have it full. I have to have it complete. And where do I get it from? From the Lord. So this process is what changes the way you communicate. It makes you more confident to communicate with honesty, because you're not trying to get anything. You're not trying to manipulate. And if you're not trying to manipulate, then your spouse, your wife, then you're happy to say how you feel. So let me recap once again. In order to change your marriage, you need to change the foundation of your marriage. And the foundation is a communication level. You need to learn to be able to speak freely from your heart and not be ashamed. Even if your spouse, your wife is not going to take it right, she's going to shut down, you got to learn to take responsibility for the way you communicate. To communicate honestly, to communicate, to try to understand, and to be honest, and to trust your wife as much as you can. Now, when you start to do that, there are three things that need to be done. Number one, you make up your mind that I'm going to be joyful, I'm going to be peaceful, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to continue to have the good resources to bring into this marriage. Second thing you are going to do is release all the negatives that are in your heart, trauma that you're going through, people that that hurt you, that you've not forgiven. You release them, because every negative that you have in your heart, you're bringing it into the marriage, because you and your wife are one now. So you got to release all of that. Release all of that. Finally, the habits that you have learned that you have used to cope so that people do not hurt you over the past couple of years and decades that you have been on the earth, you got to lose those too. Lose those habits. And once you start doing that, you will be amazed at the kind of things that you begin to see in your marriage. I've seen many marriages change just by changing one of these things. Just changing the mindset from, you know what, I don't need her to be anything. And that's what I said to you in the first place. She says, I don't want to be in this marriage anymore. And then you say, you know what, I understand. Right? I understand that I've been a mess, and you've been complaining for the past 1 year, 2 months, 3, whatever the length, and I've not really put my best effort into this. I've not hired anybody to help me. You've asked for us to go to see a counselor, and I've not gone with you. Whatever you have not done, you accept it right away, and you say, you know what, I'm going to do different this time. That alone is a shift, and that alone has changed many marriages. Many marriages have changed just by that. So if you can do that and then do all the other steps that I've told you about, your marriage is going to change. You are going to change. You're going to see difference in your life. If this has been a blessing to you and you're not yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. The fact that you've watched up to this point is a blessing, and I know that you're about to see a different 2025. So subscribe to the channel, share with friends and family that you know will be blessed by this. And if you want to get my support, my help, you can reach out to me at adesobanjo.com/chat, adesobanjo.com/chat. By the way, it's not the final copy, but I'm just going to show you the prayer journal for wives is out, and the one for the husbands it's out also, but I've not gotten my copy. It's gonna get here tomorrow. No, on Thursday. If you want a copy of this book, then I encourage you to go on Amazon and just search for it. Search for my name, Adesobanjo. You'll see the books that are there, and you can order your copy. Yes, it's a prayer journal, and with prayer prompts. So there are prayer prompts that you can pray for your spouse right there. You can pray for your husband, or you pray for your wife, and when you use those prayer points, they're going to help you to be in this mindset of service. And you can then add your own prayer points, and you can pray those prayer points for yourself as well. They are designed in such a way that you can pray them both ways. All right. So may the Lord bless you and keep you. And until we meet again tomorrow, continue to love like Jesus and make mega impact. Bye for now.